Good morning and welcome to my workshop. I'm still just getting started on scraping the ram on my Butler shaper. Now the feature that I'm working on, you can see here, the slightly darker area is unworn. So it is the original height. And the problem here is that when I put the straight edge on it, it cocks the straight edge up slightly here, which causes it to press down a little bit more here. So the first piece of work I've got to do is to bring the unworn area down to the same height as the worn area along the side here, and also down here it's largely unworn. You can see the original scraping because this is the end of the ram, and maybe the machine was used with shorter strokes, so this area is largely unworn. So first stage is to bring the unworn areas down to the same height as the worn areas, and then I'll be able to do a more truer assessment of the worn areas. So I'll bring you back. Hello and welcome back to my workshop. About 4 days have passed since my first little bit of metal scraping, and I've taken down the unworn high edge towards the centre of the ways, and I've also blued up the way that I haven't worked on at all, so you can see the comparison. On the furthest way you can see the high edge, the unworn edge, all blue. On this one that has just about been removed, and on the edge that I'm working on you can see that the blue spots are starting to break apart and become more finer. So this is nowhere near 20 dots to the inch, but it is a start. You can see the bit there where the galling has occurred due to lack of lubricant. That is a little bit of a low spot, but I will keep on working on that. I would like to bring the surface of the way down to at least eliminate some more of that nastiness. So you can see they're starting to get coverage all the way along the way. That is probably about 8 or 10 sessions of scraping and testing, and you can see at the back there the way that I haven't done anything with. You can see where the unworn surface at the back of the way has still got its original scraping visible, and so at the moment you've just got 2 high spots that don't actually mean very much. Now the other thing which I've been doing is I've been finding out about scrapers. So when I started scraping, I was using the scraper with the blade as it came, but it wasn't working all that well. So I first of all found out that you need to grind a radius on it. So you can see there's a little bit of a radius on the blade. I've reground it a few times. And also I've been honing it on a 400 grit diamond stone, and that made quite a big difference. It worked a lot better. I expect rubbing it against the diamond stone took off the high spots on the end of the scraper, and it's working a bit better. My arm is still getting sore, well, a bit sore, so I've been switching from using the left arm to the right arm and then back to the left arm, just to give a little bit of time for recovery. So I'm pleased with the way it's coming along. I've got a bit of scraping to go, and then I'll have to scrape out the ways that these run on. So I'm going to be doing this for a while yet, and it's an opportunity to actually learn more about metal scraping. And let's see, there was a nice metal scraping tutorial quite a long one, runs for about 2 hours on a website called My Little Mule, and it was the Ron Grundy scraping tutorial. It was a 2-day tutorial, and Roy had worked at Kerney Trecker for 30 years doing scraping of machines. So he was absolutely great person for running the tutorial. And a quick look at my straight edge. You can see it's all covered in non-drying blue ink. You can also see that the scraping, I assume it's been done with a machine. They've scraped a diamond pattern into the surface of the straight edge. It's certified to be flat to 4.5 microns, but they've still managed to get the diamond pattern into it. So I thought, that's interesting. What I'm planning to do in the future is to get a smaller surface plate, marking out plate, and I'll use that to test whether the two ways here are actually coplanar. I've got a bit of a horror that I might be scraping one side of one way lower and scraping the other side of the other way lower at a different angle. And I want to guard against that. I want them to be both flat and coplanar. So they are things to work on. And yes, I will be back in a few more days with some progress, and thanks for listening.